What's up, guys, and welcome back to Planet Coaster. If you're enjoying this series, make sure to leave a like on the video. It'd be greatly appreciated. In the last episode, we started to convert the former USA portion of the park to a vintage theme instead, and it already looks so much better. But this morning, I decided to make a couple of small changes to it, or at least they were supposed to be small. Honestly, I did get a little carried away. I probably should have started this recording like 2 hours ago, but we'll talk more about that in just a moment. Our goal for today, though, ladies and gents, is to create an all-ages coaster that's actually worth riding. And it's going to kind of replace the American Arrow here, a coaster that's not made for all ages. But the reason that that's so important is a majority of our guests are groups of families. They're family groups. So it's probably pretty important that our coasters are available to all ages, wouldn't you say? I mean, Dust Devil, totally fine. That's already good for all ages. Bone Breaker, same deal. Cascade, we don't really talk about, nor will we talk about today. We need to address that at a much later date. Something needs to be done with that thing. But that brings us to the American Arrow. Rather than just deleting the whole thing straight up and potentially missing out on some ticket sales, we're just going to take old girl and slide her on back here while we construct the new one. With that moved out of the way, look at how much space we've gained out here, dude. It's fantastic. Okay, before we continue, though, I do think it's important that I show you guys what I was working on this morning. Let me see if I can find a group of guests to kind of walk through the tunnel sort of thing that we have now. So the main entrance is pretty much the same as it was before. All I did was duplicated the building, rotated it around, and then stuck a underpass or tunnel type thing sort of in between the two. Now, if you think that looks good, though, wait till you see it at night. There's something about these vintage illuminated archways that I just really like. So I decided to add almost like a string of them going down the side of the main path here, really just because I felt like our main entrance was good, like it was good enough, but it needed some more pizzazz, you know what I'm saying? And where this security guard just came out of is a new security office. On the other side, right behind this green door, is a staff resting facility. That's for our vendors or anyone else that just needs to take a quick load off. And then right here, we have a new first aid facility because I kind of forgot we had one originally and then we deleted it, built this new thing, and yeah, I forgot to add it back. So we have that and a bathroom now on the opposite side. But the main entrance, dude, is perfect now. I really like how it turned out. I don't remember if I did anything to the barbershop quartets. I want to say I fixed the vista points. It's funny because this was only what, an hour, 2 hours ago, and I already can't remember. I think I added another street light too, but nothing too crazy. Over here though, with the trapeze act, the trapeze artists, originally it had like this whole structure kind of built around it, and I thought that was a close call. I thought it was a bit unnecessary. You know, it took up too much space, so I decided to get rid of it and just kind of leave the base foundation of the act, and it looks perfect now. We did have to get rid of the big clown doors, but honestly, I feel like that probably scared a lot of our guests, so good riddance. Just to the right of that, I made a couple of very small changes to the exit path for the sundial. And the reason I did that is because guests would exit the ride. There was a trash can way too close to the exit, and they would actually be reset to our main entrance, which is why the other day we were seeing so many people being like reset to that entrance point. So that's been fixed. However, people do still vomit a lot up here, which is something else I was trying to address. So I think if we really wanted to, we could put a first aid facility up at the top of the staircase there. And then people would probably be less likely to throw up on the ground or in the trash can, and instead they would get some help from first aid. That's not the only queue that I adjusted though, if I remember correctly. The queue over here for Redbeard's Revenge was just way too dang long. Dude, we had this thing snaking all the way over to like where this trash can's sitting at. So instead, we have the entrance kind of underneath that little footbridge. And I didn't really expect it to be beneficial, but it does seem like after making that change that quite a few more guests are just more willing to ride that ride now. So That's awesome. And you might have noticed the other little Victorian vintage-esque toilet block that we have over here. The only reason we have that is because I realized the only other bathroom that we have in this zone is right up here at the main entrance. And I didn't want people to have to walk all the way back to the front just to take a leak or something else. So we have this now, which is pretty helpful. And then just behind us, with the unused pirate buildings, we've got a staff resting facility in here just for these vendors, again, so they don't have to walk all the way back to the main entrance. They've got something a little bit closer now. I don't think I talked about this in the previous episode, but I definitely meant to. So you see this little ledge right here? Let me change this side, actually, so I can show you what I'm talking about. The guests, when they would walk up to these facilities, would clip into this ledge like this, and it just looked really, really bad. So I decided to set them back a little bit further. They still clip into it, but it's not near as bad as it once was. Another thing, and again, I don't know if you guys noticed this in the previous episode or not, but like 3 out of the 6 of these facilities were unstaffed. And I couldn't figure out why our vendors just didn't want to go to work. It was because the paths weren't actually connected to the facilities, so they physically could not enter their stands. But that's all been sorted now. Another thing that I did is I went around and adjusted all the extras for our facilities that we have. All the prices have been adjusted now and synced with each other. So everything's great. I mean, the park is really, really doing well. We've got 26,000 in the back pocket, and we haven't even done any marketing for a while. Let's start up 3 new campaigns. I was only doing the marketing for teens and adults, but we've decided to include the family hour as well now, which is why it's even more important for us to add another coaster that's available to all ages, which brings us back to this nice big empty plot of land. We need to figure out which coaster we're actually going to use. I considered using the Wendigo coaster here, if that's how you pronounce that, but it's a little too little kid-esque. You know, we want it to be available for all ages. We definitely don't want to make a coaster that's specific for just kids. So I'm thinking we go with this one right here, the Typhoon, or the Infinite. I actually don't know which one is the coaster name and which one is like the coaster descriptor. Oh, that's wooden. Okay, so Infinite is the name, Typhoon is the coaster style, design. I'm not a coaster guy. You guys know that. So we're just gonna start with a nice foundation, nice station here, and we'll see what the heck we can do. Wait, this one goes straight up. That goes kind of hard, dude. And then overhanging chain lift. Interesting. Okay. Let's go with that one. That seems a bit crazier, but maybe not immediately. Maybe we should turn it around first so we have some more space. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore, dude. This just looks like it's gonna hurt a lot. But we'll try her out. We'll see how she does. It kind of reminds me of Scoop-Dee Loop-Dee Hoop-Dee. If any of you remember that from like the OG Planet Coaster series. Oh, and they get held up at the top. That's terrifying. Yeah, this is bad. Oh my god, the G-forces are so bad. Dude, we have a 10 fear. Nausea wasn't looking so hot either. Yikes. Okay, so maybe this is a bit too extreme for what we're trying to do here today. This one doesn't seem like it'll kill people. Maybe never mind. Holy cow. Okay, so how the heck am I gonna do this, man? You know what? Something else that I wanted to do over here was to have another group of buildings sort of along this path edge here. So I suppose we should probably get that knocked out first. Otherwise, we'd likely have a coaster in our way. So the buildings that I want to add are these guys right here. I don't want to add all of them, though. Obviously, they're a little too big. A little too big for this space. So now that we have them placed down, we're just going to edit them real quick. And I'm just going to delete the buildings on this end. I don't actually want to fill these buildings with anything just yet. I just wanted to kind of get the placeholder down, you know, so we know how much room we actually have to work with for this coaster. So now that we have the buildings in place, back to editing this coaster. I really don't know that we're gonna be able to get this one to work, dude. I feel like with a coaster like this, you need a lot more space than what we have. But I'll try one more attempt here. If I could just figure out how to get this coaster to do a single drop without scaring the guests to death, that would be awesome. Okay, hang on. That was better. That was actually better. Fear wasn't in the red, so that's cool. Also, I've extended the station, so now we can have 3 trains running at one time, which is super, super helpful as well. This does seem slightly better. Let me watch it one mo again, as they say. I think we can work with that. I truly think we can work with that now. What have I done? Honestly, dude, what even is this thing? We don't know. We don't know if it's going to be good or bad. Of course, you guys have probably already guessed it's going to be bad. I'm hopeful. I am hopeful. We have 2, I believe those are bat wings. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong on that. I really don't remember. After the Batwings, it's pretty much a standard run-of-the-mill roller coaster. It goes up, it goes down, it goes around. You know the deal. Let's see how our test results are gonna be, though. Survey says that is very surprising. That is really, really surprising. A 7.58 excitement, 4.80 fear, and a 2.73 nausea gives us a prestige of only 645. Certainly not the best coaster that we've ever made, but we should be able to slide it back a little bit. I put it up close to the building so that way, you know, I could finish the coaster design and then we could move it around. So let me try to do that real quick, and we'll see if we've given ourselves enough space for a proper queue for this ride. I think right about there looks pretty dang solid. Still have plenty of room for the little toilet block over there as well, so that's good to see. But my idea here was we would have a queue somewhere in this area. People would enter the station over here, and then they would exit this way. And these paths are not connected. That way we can kind of direct traffic from one half of the park to the other. That's the idea anyways. This is another one of those queues that's probably way longer than it really needs to be. We have the exit path just over here. So rather than decorating it with trees and plants and all sorts of stuff like that, temporarily, I'm gonna go ahead and just borrow these two. It is so loud over here. I'm gonna borrow these two golden treasure chests, and we're gonna slap these down right next to this queue. That way we can just sort of see what the prestige would be like if it actually had a good queue scenery rating. So there we go, just those two there. We're gonna have to run another test, aren't we? It's still 645. Wait, and the queue scenery rating is still 74%. How is that even possible? These cost $10,000 a piece, don't they? Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to afford another one of those right now, unfortunately. But we could do some more marketing, get a couple more people inside the park, spend a little bit more of their money, their hard-earned cash. There we go. Okay, and then we'll fast forward for a minute till we have like 10 G's. See if we can't add another treasure chest in here. Well, we just aren't making money. In fact, we're losing money. All the guests have already entered the park. There's not really too many people coming through the main entrance. That still, dude, it looks so dang good. So much better than it did before. Okay, 6,000. Starting to come up a little bit. Wild Blue has now broken down. It'll happen. It'll happen. Just give it time. Or maybe it won't happen. We've lost a lot of money. A lot of money. So much so that I think we just need to open the dang ride. We're gonna take 645 divided by 35 to get an initial ticket price of $18.42. There we go. Let's open her on up and we'll see what happens. Any takers? Any takers? It's probably the cheapest coaster in the whole park. For right now, anyways. Really? Okay, and we've finally gone into the negative dollar amounts. Awesome. Awesome. Hey, we're doing good. Lost $4 grand last month. We're doing good. We should probably edit the Central USA work roster so that it includes our new coaster. That way, if it breaks down, you know, we got staff on standby, ready to repair at a moment's notice. There's two people. Two people. Wait, why did these people just turn around? Orange shirt right here. What's the scoop-dee? Don't have enough cash. Okay, well, we have $1,100 right meow, so we should be able to afford an ATM. Just a simple one. Doesn't need to be anything crazy. $100. Our first group of only 2 people has returned to the station. We've got 3 more that have just jumped on. It is a bit concerning because I believe these people are all teens thus far. But we built this with families in mind, and not a single family has ridden it yet. Yeah, this whole thing might have been a bit of an oopsie. I would imagine this is another one of those coasters that we're gonna have to completely redo on stream, which I'm okay with. I would rather have your guys' help in real time. But yeah, this is a big ol' yikes type of situation. Let's do some more fast forwarding. That way we can at least get our first, or wait, no, this was the first group. And they seem kind of angry that they've been sat there for such a long time. I didn't change a lot of stuff with this coaster too. I'm just now realizing. Okay, they've gotten on, gotten off. 827. Hold the phone. That jumped up out of nowhere. RKO. 827 divided by 35. 2362 now. We're gonna enable don't block the station, change this to 120, and change this to full load. That should be all we really need to do with this thing. It's really not a poorly rated coaster, at least not for my standards. I mean, it's nearly an 8 excitement, but we did have a challenge that was build a coaster with at least a 9 excitement, so maybe you guys can help me on stream, try to get those rookie numbers bumped up just a little bit for these guests. But on that note, unfortunately, I do think that's where we're going to have to wind things down at for today. But once again, if you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, leave a comment, help support the dream by smashing that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Peace.